Hello everyone, welcome to Cheongfuli Weekly Report. We bring you the latest price and market analysis of China's steel market every week. Spot prices trended weaker this week. The spot price of hot rolled coil dropped by 10 yuan per ton week on week, while rebar spot prices fell by 20 yuan per ton. After surging post the May Day holiday, steel prices have retreated. Market trading sentiment weakened week on week, and overall market activity also cooled down accordingly. On the macro front, both US CPI and PPI came in hotter than expected this week. PPI jumped 6.0% year-on-year and 1.4% month-on-month, way above market expectations of 4.8% and 0.5%, stoking inflation concerns. From the supply side, the overall supply stayed steady this week. The total supply of 5 major steel products stood at 8.4024 million tons, up by 4,100 tons compared with last week. Meanwhile, molten iron output remained flat week on week. With steel mills currently enjoying decent profits, molten iron production still has room for further growth. By product, the supply reduction mainly came from hot rolled coil due to environmental inspections, with output hitting 2.9686 million tons this week, down 37,500 tons week on week. Rebar output saw a mild increase to 2.014 million tons, rising by 47,500 tons from the previous week. Demand rebounded week on week and has returned to the pre-holiday level. The apparent consumption of steel reached 9.144 million tons this week, a week-on-week increase of 725,300 tons. Specifically, rebar apparent consumption was 2.4252 million tons, up 447,100 tons week on week. Hot rolled coil apparent consumption stood at 3.075 million tons, with a week-on-week gain of 104,100 tons. Although steel prices retreated after the post-holiday rally and downstream buyers are reluctant to accept high prices, trading volume picked up thanks to downstream restocking and production resumption after the holiday. Nevertheless, amid the weak price performance, speculative demand in the market has dropped significantly. In terms of inventory, the total inventory of the 5 major steel products resumed the pre-holiday destocking pace, with destocking momentum picking up week on week. The total inventory recorded 18.2865 million tons, down 741,600 tons week on week. By product, rebar inventory stood at 6.8594 million tons, a week-on-week decrease of 411,200 tons. Hot rolled coil inventory was 4.0724 million tons, down 106,400 tons week on week. China's steel market rebounded on a weekly basis this week, with overall demand returning to pre-holiday levels. The market has maintained a rapid destocking pace as before, with solid fundamental support overall. However, after the post-holiday steel price surge, overseas clients are less receptive to domestic steel prices, leading to a sharp week-on-week drop in new export orders. As the rainy season is approaching, there is limited room for further growth in terminal construction and procurement demand, raising expectations of a market downturn. Current steel price movements are mainly driven by market fundamentals. Overall, despite the lack of sustained market driving forces and cautious market expectations for the future, fundamental support remains strong for now. Steel prices are expected to maintain a volatile trend in the short term. Going forward, we need to closely monitor the pace of inventory destocking as well as the final outcome of US-Iran negotiations. Based on the above analysis, here is our operational suggestion. Purchase steel according to actual demand and properly control inventory risks. According to institutional views, although steel market fundamentals keep improving after the holiday, the traditional peak season has entered the mid-term. Rising rainfall in southern China is expected to drag down market demand, leaving little room for further fundamental improvement. In addition, high prices have reduced downstream taking willingness. Cooling market sentiment will put prices under downward pressure, and steel prices are expected to move in a weak fluctuating trend. In summary, steel prices will generally maintain a range-bound trend. Close attention should be paid to the performance of peak season demand and the progress of US-Iran negotiations. Okay, feel free to leave your thoughts, questions, or any related inquiries in the comment box below. And if you found this video valuable, don't forget to follow us for more updates. See you next week.